All right, today we're talking about something huge: how artificial intelligence is about to completely shake up the life and health insurance industry. And look, this isn't just about some new software. We're talking about a high stakes game between incredible new possibilities and some really catastrophic risks. And this quote from a longtime insurance executive, it just nails it. This is the exact tension at the center of this whole thing. It's the story of amazing promise crashing right into some profound, deep-seated risks.
So you have to understand, insurance has always been a data game. It's built on assessing risk. So you'd think it's a perfect fit for an AI revolution, right? But as we're about to see, it is way, way more complicated than just a simple upgrade.
Okay, so let's start with the optimistic view. Let's look at the dream scenario, where AI makes insurance faster, smarter, and way more personalized than we ever thought possible. I mean, just stop and think about the speed here for a second. A process that used to take weeks of someone manually going through paperwork can now be crunched down to literally minutes. It's called straight-through processing, and it means AI can look at an application, see its low risk, and approve it, almost instantly.
But it's not just about speed, not by a long shot. AI offers this whole toolbox to make the entire business better. I'm talking using data from your smartwatch to model health risks, automatically processing routine claims, and even giving you a personal AI health coach on your phone. It touches everything.
Okay, so that's the dream. Now, let's flip the coin over and talk about what could go wrong. Because for every single promise of efficiency, there's a serious, legitimate concern that's keeping industry veterans up at night. First up, and this is the big one, data security. We're talking about the most personal, sensitive health information you can imagine. This stuff is protected by really strict privacy laws like HIPAA. So making sure these new AI systems are totally compliant and preventing a massive data breach, well, that's concern number one. And then you've got the regulators. They're watching this space very, very closely, especially when it comes to fairness. So how does a company prove, without a doubt, that its AI isn't discriminating against certain groups of people? It's a tough question to answer. And that leads right into what people call the black box problem. See, insurers are required by law to explain why they make a decision. But if an AI denies your claim based on a complex calculation of, say, 800 different data points, how on earth do you explain that to an angry customer? And finally, there's this. Most insurance companies aren't building this AI themselves. They're buying it from vendors. That means they're basically outsourcing huge critical business decisions to algorithms that they don't really control and might not even fully understand. That's a huge risk. So now, let's really get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to put the promise of AI right up against the real-world perils for some of the most critical parts of the insurance business. Okay, let's start with underwriting. The promise here is just mind-blowing efficiency. An AI can scan through a decade of your medical records in seconds, spot patterns a human might totally miss, and just like that, greenlight low-risk applicants for coverage. But here's the scary question you have to ask. Who's on the hook when that automated system gets it wrong? If the AI misses a huge red flag and approves someone it shouldn't have, the financial and legal fallout could be absolutely massive. And you see the exact same tension with claims. I mean, imagine it. You submit a simple claim and boom, it's approved and paid out in minutes, not weeks. The promise is to automate all the simple stuff, freeing up the human experts to handle the really complicated, sensitive cases. The peril, though, is huge. First, think about the public relations nightmare. One big mistake that goes viral on social media could just destroy a company's reputation. And second, you risk losing that human, empathetic touch that people really, really need when they're going through something difficult, like a major illness. And this right here, gets to the absolute core of the dilemma with what's called dynamic pricing. The promise? A huge competitive advantage. You can offer healthier people better rates right now. But the peril? You could end up destroying the whole point of insurance, this idea of shared risk, by making it so expensive that sick people just can't get coverage at all. Now, fraud, it's a massive multi-billion-dollar problem, and AI looks like a superhero here. By digging through millions of claims, it can spot weird patterns that are basically invisible to a human eye, and that could save an incredible amount of money. But what happens when the AI gets it wrong? A false positive? When it incorrectly flags an honest customer or a good doctor as a fraudster? That could wreck relationships, tick off loyal clients, and maybe even land you in court. So you see, what this all comes down to is a massive balancing act.
The real question isn't if the industry is going to use AI, it's how. How can they do it responsibly, balancing all this cool innovation with real accountability?
And if you're an executive in this world, this isn't just theory. These are the bottom line questions that are probably keeping you up at night. What's the real cost? When you factor in all these new legal and reputational risks, how do you keep your customers' trust? And how do you get your people ready for a future where they have to work side by side with an AI?
In the end, the path forward isn't about choosing machines over people. It's about figuring out how to make them work together. It's about taking the incredible power of AI and balancing it with solid, real-world plans to manage all the dangers that come with it. And that leaves us with this one big final question. As AI makes insurance faster and cheaper and better at predicting the future, can the industry actually pull off all this innovation without losing the one thing that makes it all work? Its essential human element.